Alrighty. So at this point, you have filled out your hypothesis and you've done your background research. These are the groups that you're going to be working with today. Group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And as you may have already noticed in your lab report, there is a section for group roles. If you're in a team of 4, then you just decide who goes into each one of these blanks. Like maybe this is Mr. Chow, this is Mr. John, this is Mr. Aliot, and this is Mr. Hole. Just figure out who's going to go here. If you're in a group of 3, then the 3 members will go here. And the timekeeper will just be one of those other people. Somebody is going to do 2 jobs. They're going to be timekeeper and observer, or timekeeper and probe, or timekeeper and pH collector. So the 3 members will each have an observation role, and one person is just going to be the timekeeper also. So here is the methodology. I'm going to go over with you quickly before we split up into our teams. So when you get to your station, you're going to make sure that your pH probe is on and it's working, it's reading some sort of a number. You're going to set up your pH paper testing station. You're going to get the pH strips ready to go. You're going to make sure that you have enough pH papers. And then you're going to put the dry ice into your beaker of solution. When you put the first nugget in, start the timer. And put the 5 nuggets in quickly. Don't wait for long periods of time between. After the first minute, you're going to collect data. So you see here, minute 1. Then you're going to have 3 people who are going to fill these 3 things out separately, right? So previously, I don't remember who was doing what. So let's say this is Mr. Chow, this is Mr. John, this is Mr. Aliot. We're each going to fill out just our own, and then we'll share our data with each other, if you have time between making observations. You're going to do that until the CO2 dissolves or 20 minutes is over. You'll notice that this only goes down to 20 minutes. If at 20 minutes the CO2 has not dissolved, it's okay. That's the end of the lab. If your CO2 completely dissolves before 20 minutes, which is pretty likely, then that'll just be the end as well. So you might get 11 minutes of observations. You might get 7. I don't really know. It's just going to depend on how big each nugget of dry ice is. I haven't seen the dry ice yet, but if the pieces of dry ice are really, really big, then it is possible that after 20 minutes, it will still be bubbling. That's okay. So if everyone understands what the instructions are, at this point, please find your partners and go set up your stations.